Okay, question 1. Which digit in this 9.876 is in the hundreds place? So we know the hundreds is in the second decimal place, right? So 1, 2, this is the one. 7 is the answer. Question 2. Which of the following numbers is the smallest? So we can compare the numbers row by row. So we're going to compare the first column, which is all 0. So look at the second column, which is all 0 and 5. So this is definitely out because they're looking for the smallest number, right? So now we go on to compare the third column, 1, 5 and 0. So the 5 is out and the 1 is also out, which means that the smallest one should be, okay, I think there is something wrong. Smallest, okay, so sorry, this one should be out also. Okay, and which means that this should be out and number 1 should be the answer. Question 3, 60 plus 6 over 10 plus 6 over 1000 is equals to what? So we're going to convert the 6 over 10 into 0.6. 6 over 1000 will be 0.006, which means that if you add them all together, you should get a 60.606. 60.606. Number 4 is the answer. Question 4. Find the value of 80 minus 24 divided by 4 plus 2. So we're going to work out the 24 divided by 4 first. 24 divided by 4 will give you a 6 plus 2. Okay, once you're left with addition and subtraction, remember to do from the left to right. 80 minus 6 will be 74. 74 plus 2 will be 76. Answer is number 4. Question 5. Which of the following is likely the mass of a classroom chair? Okay, we know that 0.03 kg is basically 30 grams. It is too light to be classroom chair. Probably if it is made of paper, then maybe it's 30 grams. 0.3 kg is about 300 grams. 300 grams, maybe if it's made of cardboard, right? 3 kg most likely. Okay, if it's 30 kg, it's too heavy, right? A primary 6 key is probably around 30 kg. So 30 kg is too heavy to be a classroom chair. Question 6. 234,092 people signed up for a charity run. They want you to round the number to the nearest thousand. So we're going to underline the digit in thousands placing. Round it off to the nearest thousand, it'll be 234, and behind is a 0, right? So it'll be 000. Answer is number 1. Question 7. Which one of the following is the same as 5 divided by 2/3? We're gonna change it into a multiply first. It's gonna be 5 multiplied by 3 over 2. Okay, if you put it a denominator of over 1, then it'll be the same as number 4. Question 8. A sharpener is placed on a scale as shown. What is the length of the sharpener as shown in the scale? Now we're gonna take the reading at the beginning, which is over here. Okay, look at the scale from 1 to 2. There are how many markings? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 markings, right? So which means that each one is a 0.2. The reading over here is 1.8. Now look at the reading at the end over here. It is a 4.4. Okay, so if we use 4.4 minus 1.8, you get a 2.6. Answer is number 2. Question 9. What's the area of the triangle ACE? ACE is this, as shown in the figure. Now we need to identify the base. Okay, this is the base and the height. And we just apply the formula of area of a triangle, half times base times height. Remember to reduce. Right, 4 times 3 will give you a 12. Answer is number 1. Question 10. The solid shown is formed using unit cubes. How many unit cubes are used to form the solid? Okay, now you can see that over here there's 3. Okay, now over here, including the 3 over here, there's 4. Right, on top there's another 2. So total there will be 9 unit cubes. Answer is number 4. Question 11. A triangle and a square are shown in the grid below. The square is over here. Let me try and draw it out. Okay. I think I'll just leave it alone. It is okay, over here. Now which of the following statement is true? Statement A, it says that angle M is equal to angle N. Now we need to check if this is an isosceles triangle. Okay, how do we check is look at the length over. Okay, the diagonal is across a 3 times 2 rectangle, right? This diagonal over here is also across a 3 times 2 rectangle, which means that these two are the same, and M is equal to N. Statement B, the square has both parallel and perpendicular sides. Yep, this one, okay, they have 2 sides that are parallel and they have 4 perpendicular angles. The triangle has a greater area than the square. Okay, now we know that the square has got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 units. We're gonna try and count the triangle. Okay, we're gonna cut out this part, right, and place it over here. Okay, and next I'm gonna use green color and cut out this part here. This part here, if you can see, it will fit in here. Okay, which means that now, okay, let me use a highlighter to try and highlight the shape. It's gonna look like this, including this small part here. Okay, this is about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5 squares, which means that this is wrong. Okay, the answer is number 1. Which of the following are true? Question 12. A bowl contains red, green, and black beans. 1/9 of the beans are red and 1/4 of the remaining bits are green. And the rest are black beans. So what fraction of the beans in the bowl are black? I'm gonna do the fraction way. Okay, if 1/9 are red, right, which means that 8 out of 9 is the remaining, right? Okay, if 1/4 of the remaining are green, okay, it means that 3/4 of the remaining is black. Okay, I want to find what is 3/4 of the remaining. I'm gonna reduce, divided by 3, divided by 3, divided by 4, divided by 4, okay, which will give me a 2/3. Answer is number 4. Question 13. The shaded figure is a quarter circle of radius 8 cm. What is the parameter of the shaded figure? Leave the answer in terms of pi. So if we want to find the parameter of the shaded figure, it will be 1/4 multiplied by 2 pi r, right? Because 2 pi r is the circumference of the circle. It's going to be 1/4 times 2 times pi times 8. We can reduce the 4, okay, with the 8, which means that this is gonna give me a 4 pi, right? This 4 pi is the arc over here, okay? So this is 4 pi. Remember to add in these 2 here, which is a 16. So the answer is 4 pi plus 16. Number 2. Question 14. Red and white erasers are both placed in box A and B. Box A has as many erasers as B. The ratio of the number of red erasers to the number of white erasers in box A is 3:2, and in box B is 7:8. 3:2, 7:8. What is the ratio of the total number of red erasers to the total number of white erasers? Now, if in box A, the number of red is to white is 3:2, and in box B is 7:8. Okay, the keyword is since they have box A has as many erasers as box B. Look at the total unit, right? This is a 5, this is a 15, which means that I need to multiply by 3 to this, which will give me a 9:6. Okay, they're asking for what is the ratio of the total number of red. Total number of red would be 16:8 plus 6, which is, what is the ratio of the total number of red eraser to the total number of white eraser? 14. Change to simplest form, it will be 8:7. Answer is number 3. Question 15. 4 teams of hairstylists provide haircut services to raise funds for charity. For each haircut, customers with short hair are charged $20. Okay, customers with long hair are charged $30. Table shows the number of haircuts completed by various teams. Which of the 4 teams collected the most money? So short hair will be $20, which means that if you multiply by 20, okay, you probably can find the total for this. Can I write it here? Let me try to squeeze it here. This is going to be 120, 160, 220, 240. Okay, long hair will be 30. Two hundred and 180, and 150. You add them together, 360, 370, 400, and 390. Okay, which means that C, right, collected the most money. Question 16. Find the value of 7.03 multiplied by 80. 7.03 multiplied by 80. First, we got to break this into 8 times 10, which means that the decimal of you can multiply by 10 to this 7.03, which will give you a 70.3 multiplied by 8. Now it's a bit easier to multiply, so you can do your multiplication over here. Okay, the answer is 562.4. Question 17. 1 million is how many more than 600,999? Which means that we need to use 1 million minus 600,999. Okay, I'm going to borrow so this will be a 1 0 0, this will be a 9 9 and 3. Question 18. Write down all the common factors of 12 and 16. Okay, we're gonna write down all the factors of 12 first. So by listing it out, 1 times 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4, that should be it. 16, 1 times 16, 2 times 8, 4 times 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is already here. Okay, that should be it. Now let's circle the common factors. Okay, 1, 2, and 4. Question 19. The first 16 numbers of a number pattern are given below. So this is a 21305, 21305, 21305. Now you can see that the repeating pattern is over here, right? 21305, 21305, and so on. Okay, they're asking for the 76 number. Now if you look at the first 5, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it will be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, which means that the last digit of the group, okay, follows your 5 timetable, which means that pattern number 75 is equal to a 5, and which means that pattern number 76 would be a 2. Okay, the answer is 2. Question 20. Express 0.7% as a fraction. Okay, if you want to change percentage to fraction, okay, you have to divide it by 100. Now if you do your jumping bean, add a 0, right, it's gonna be equal to 7 over 1000. Question 21. Gareth completed a race in 190 seconds. He was 25 seconds faster than Raja. How long did Raja take to complete the race? So if Gareth takes 190 seconds, okay, Gareth is 25 seconds faster than Raja, which means that Raja took 25 seconds more, right? Which will give me a 215 seconds. Okay, they want it in minute and seconds, right? So if you remember, your every minute is 60 seconds, it will be 60, 180, and 240, which means that it's already overshot, right? Which means that it's 3 minutes. Okay, 215, if you subtract 180, it's gonna give you 35 seconds. 3 minutes and 35 seconds. Question 22. The fifth multiple of a one-digit number is 24 more than its second multiple. What is the seventh multiple of the one-digit number? Right, in this case, we can use the model to represent, okay, the fifth multiple of a one-digit number, which means that I can draw 5 blocks. Okay, this will be the number. Right, fifth multiple means the number times 5. This is 24 more than its second multiple. Now I'm gonna draw another similar model below. It's about 2 blocks. Okay, so the 24 would be here. Which means that 3 unit is equals to 24. 1 unit equals to 8. And they're asking for the 7 multiple, which means that 7 unit is 56. Question 23. Airmail rates for a parcel to Hong Kong is shown below. Mass step for the first 500 grams, it is $12, and every additional 100 gram, it will be $2.50. Or we send a parcel weighing 650 grams to Hong Kong. How much did she pay for the mail? Now for the first 500 gram, it's gonna be equal to $12. Now there's another 150 grams, right? And you need to pay 250 times 2, which is $5. Right, which means that the total that she paid for would be 12 plus 5, which is $17. Question 24. Two cubes are glued together to form a solid below. All the faces of the solid are painted, covering a total surface area of 160 cm square. What is the volume of one cube? Okay, so the total surface area is 160 cm square, and how many square faces are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? Okay, and let's treat each one as 1 unit, which means that 10 unit is equal to 160. 1 unit is equal to 16. Now if I want to find the length of one side, 4 times 4 will be equal to 16, right? Which means that one of it is 4 cm and 4 cm. Now they want you to find the volume of one cube, which is 4 times 4 times 4. That is a 64. Question 25. Peter was given a fixed monthly allowance. In January, he spent $160. Spent $200 in February. They want you to find the percentage increase in his expenditure. Now his increase is $40. If you want to find the percentage increase, you use the increase divided by the original multiplied by 100. I'm gonna try and simplify. Cancel divided by 2 divided by 8. Okay, which means that it will be 5 times 5. There's a 25% increase. Question 26. At the cafe, Alan paid $9.50 for a Swiss roll and 2 curry puffs. Ben paid $18.50 for a Swiss roll and 8 curry puffs. What is the total cost of 3 curry puffs? Okay, 1 Swiss roll plus 2 curry puff is $9.50. 1 Swiss roll plus 8 curry puff is $18.50, right? Which means that 6 curry puff is equals to 1850 minus 950, which is $9. They're asking for the cost of 3 curry puffs, which means that 3 curry puffs is $9 divided by 2, which is $4.50. Question 27. The string is cut into 3 shorter pieces. The first string is 6/7 the length of the second piece, but 3 times as long as the third piece. Express the length of the shortest piece express the length of the longest piece of string as a fraction of the total length of all the 3 pieces. Now, let us write down the information first. The first piece is 6/7, which means that the first piece, we can let it be 6 units. The second piece, we're gonna let it be 7 units. The first piece is 6/7, the length of the second piece, but 3 times as long as the third piece, which means that the third piece is 2 units. Okay, over here the 3 times as long as the third piece is referring to the first piece is 3 times. Now they want you to express the length of the longest is 7 piece of string as a fraction of the total length. The total length will be 6 plus 7 plus 2, which is 15. The answer is 7/15. Question 28. Justus fills 2 types of bottles, small and large, completely with water. 27 liters of water is used to fill 12 small bottles and 2 large bottles. The total capacity of 2 large bottles is the same as the total capacity of 3 small bottles. What is the capacity of a large bottle? Now let us write down the statement first. 12 small plus 2 large is equals to 27 liters, right? Yep. Okay. Since 2 large is equal to 3 small, and they are asking for the capacity of large bottle, right? We are going to try to replace the 12 small. If 2 large is equals to 3 small, then 12 small is equals to how many large? Right, from here to here, if you multiply by 4, from here to here you also multiply by 4, which will give you 8. Okay, which means that now I can replace the 12 small with 8 large. Okay, 8 plus 2 large is equals to 27. If 10 large is 2.27 liter, what is the capacity of a large bottle of water? So 1 large bottle is equals to 27 divided by 10, 2.7 liter. Question 29. In the figure below, A, B, C, F is a square. HBD, where is HBD is an equilateral triangle, and BGF is a straight line. Find angle BGD. Find this one. I know that this angle over here is 45, right? 60 minus 45, which means that the angle over here is 15. Okay, if this angle over here is 15, basically angle BGD is equal to 60 plus 15, which is equals to 75. Okay, I'm using a shortcut way, but if you want to do it longer way, you can always find this angle over here first. Okay, this angle over here will be 180 minus 75, which is 105. Right, once you know that this is 105 here, then use 180 minus 105 again to get 75. Question 30. The figure below is formed by two identical triangles ABF, and GDE overlapping each other. The figure has an area of 96 cm square. AGFE is a straight line. Find the area of the shaded triangle GCF. Okay, for this question, you need to use the overlapping technique. First of all, I'm going to find the area of one of the triangle, like ABF. That will be half times base times height. Cancel 7. It's gonna give me 56. If I use 56 plus 56, it's gonna give me 112. Okay, 112 is the area of this triangle over here. Okay, plus the area of this triangle over here. Now, if you notice that the shaded area is green color, right? There's actually two layers of it. Okay, this 96 cm is basically one layer of each and every one of them. One layer of the yellow, one layer of the green, and one layer of the blue. But this 112 is one layer of the yellow, two layers of the green, and one layer of the blue. Which means that if we use 112 minus away the 96, 16 cm square is the area of the shaded triangle. We move on to paper 2, but before that, let me drink some water. Question 1. For every $5 saved by Ahmad, his father gave him $1. How much was saved by Ahmad if he had a total of $648 in his savings? This is the grouping technique, right? One group is equal to $6. Now you need to find out how many groups are there. 648 divided by 6. $108 groups. Okay, they're asking for how much was saved by Ahmad. So remember, in each group there is $5 saved by him, which means that I need to multiply by 5. I will get $540. Question 2, look at the number line below. The number line is marked at equal intervals. What is the value of x? Leave the answer as a fraction. So in this case, if you watch the other paper which I did, right, x is basically the middle of these two. Right, to find the middle value, first you add them together. This is gonna be and then after that you divide it by 2. Divided by 2 is, let me write down divided by 2. Same as times half. It's nothing to reduce. This will give you a 7 over 24. 7 over 24 is the answer. Question 3. Mrs. Lim uses the recipe below to make rose syrup milk drink. Now this rose syrup milk drink recipe makes 5 cups, 300 ml of rose syrup, 200 ml of evaporated milk, and 1000 ml of water. She has 1.5 liters of rose syrup, 900 ml of evaporated milk, 3 liters of water. What is the greatest number of cups that she can make? Okay, let's write the amount over here. 1.5 liter will be 1500 ml. Let me write it in front. Okay, 1500 ml. Evaporated milk is 900 ml. Water will be 3000 ml. Okay, this will allow me to make, like, there are 5 groups. These will allow me to make 4 times 200 is 800. This will allow me to make 3, right? So obviously the limiting material will be the water, so which means that I can only make 3 groups of it, right? Each group can make you 5 cups, so 3 times 5, let me circle the one that's limiting, 3. It's gonna give me 15. That is the greatest number of cups of rose syrup milk drink that she can make. Question 4. Bakery had a number of buns for sale. After selling 150 in the morning and 5/7 of the remainder in the afternoon, he was left with 120 buns. How many buns were sold altogether? Right, so in the morning you sold 150 and 5/7 of the remainder in the afternoon. It's left with 120, which means that this is what's left. How many buns were sold altogether, which means that 1 unit is 60. Here to here would be 60 times 5, which is 300. Okay, so how many buns were sold altogether? That would be 150 plus 300, which is 450 sold. Question 5. The figure below shows a triangle ABC drawn on a grid. So BCDE is a rectangle with an area twice that of triangle ABC. Draw BCDE on the grid below. Let me use straight lines. So BCDE, BC will start from here to here. BC. Okay, look at the height of this triangle. The height of it is 1, 2, 3, which means that I got to draw 3. I'm gonna use freehand to draw 3. other line would be here. C, D, E. This would be the answer for part A. Draw line C, F on the grid such that it is perpendicular to A, C. So this one you need a set square. I don't have a set square now, so okay, you can draw it yourself. I'll just mark it out roughly. Question 6. Jack had a piece of rope 4/5 meter long. He cut it into 3/10 meter pieces. How many 3/10 meter pieces of rope were there at most? Which means that for part A, I need to use 4/5 divided by 3/10, which should be 4/5 multiplied by 10/3. I'm gonna reduce. Eight over 3 is equal to 2 and 2/3, which means that at most there's only 2 pieces. What was the length of the piece of rope left over? So the length of the piece of rope left over is not 2/3 meter. You have to do it. The safest way would be to do it this way. Right, 2 pieces will give you 6/10, which is simplest form 3/5. Now if you use 4/5 minus 3/5, you're gonna get 1/5 meter. So this is the answer. Now let me explain what is this 2/3 about. This is 2/3 of 3/10 meter, which means that if you use 2/3 multiplied by 3/10, cancel 1, cancel 1, 1 divided by, will give you 5, and it's gonna give you the answer. Okay, so take note of this. Part B. Question 7. The table below shows the number of books read by each pupil in a class of 30 pupils. One of the number in the table is covered by an ink, which is this one. The average number of books read by the pupils in the class is Y. Find the total number of books read by the class. Average number of books read by the pupils is Y, which means that if you use 30 times Y, answer for part A is just 30Y. For part B, what is the number covered by the ink blot? We're gonna add in a column over here that finds the total. Number of books read by each pupil, if it is 0, this is gonna be a 0. This is gonna be a 14Y because it's 14 times Y. Now, how do we find this? Using 30Y. If we minus 14Y, we're gonna get 16Y. This is a 16Y. Okay, to find the number of books, we're gonna use the total divided by 6, which means that the answer for part B would be, change this to the simplest form, divided by 2, 8Y over 3. Question 8. Mr. Sim needs 220 pieces of string, each of length 30 cm, to tie parcels. String is sold in rows of 20 meter each. What is the least number of rows of string that Mr. Sim needs to buy? He needs 220 pieces of string, right? Each one of 30 cm. I'm gonna convert it into meter, 0.3 meter. He's going to need 66 meters of string. Now if each row is 20 meter, so 20 plus 20 plus 20 is 60. I'm short of 6, which means that I need to buy another row. The least number of rows would be 4. Question 9. Mrs. Tan took 25 minutes while Mrs. Lee took 40 minutes to make the same number of dumplings. Mrs. Tan made 12 more dumplings in 1 minute than Mrs. Lee. How many dumplings did Mrs. Lee make in 1 minute? Okay, since they make the same number, in 24 Mrs. Tan, right, in 1 minute, she will be able to make 1 out of 25 of the total dumplings. For Mrs. Lee, in 1 minute, she can make 1 out of 40. Okay, since Mrs. Tan made more, which means that 1 out of 25 minus 1 out of 40 is equal to 3 out of 200. 3 out of 200 is equal to 12 dumplings. Now they're asking for how many dumplings did Mrs. Lee make in 1 minute. Okay, I'm gonna convert Mrs. Lee's to over 200, which means that I need 2 times 5 times 5, which is 5 over 200. Now I need to find what is 1 over 200 divided by 3. It is 4, which means that 5 out of 200 is 20 dumplings. Okay, that will be the answer for this question. Question 10. The figure below is formed using 3 rhombus and 3 equilateral triangles. The perimeter of the shaded rhombuses is 60 cm. What is the perimeter of the figure? Let me draw this line over here to highlight the perimeter of the shaded figure. So it consists of this blue line, which is the same as these 3 red lines over here. Which is the same as this green line. And the same as this black line. Which means that if I use 60 divided by 4, I'm gonna get 15 cm, and 15 cm basically is the length of the blue line. Now, if we want to find the parameter of the figure, I just need to include one more. 1, 2. Okay. And then I'm gonna shift the blue line to here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, which means that the parameter of the figure is basically 60, which is the parameter of the shaded part, plus another 15. And that will be equal to 75 cm. The answer for question 10 will be 75 cm. Question 11. Participants of a competition must obtain a certain score in the first round to qualify for the second round. The table shows the number of participants for each score over here. In the first round, the lowest score is 0. There are 150 participants in the first round. %, of the participants did not qualify for the second round. From the table, what was the lowest score of a participant who qualified for the second round? Let us find the total participants first. 18 plus 27 plus 39 plus 42 plus 24 is gonna give me 150 participants. Oh, okay, it's already mentioned over here. I want to find 30% of the participants. It is basically 45 participants. So 45 is over here. Okay, which means that this is the cutoff point. Okay, the lowest score of a participant is 4. Part B, what percentage of the participants obtain a score of 8 or more? Draw the bar for the percentage of the participants, okay, which obtain 8 or more. So for part B, there are 24 that obtain 8 or more out of 150. I'm going to convert it into percentage. It is 16%. Now I'm gonna draw the 16% over here. It's 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. It's a bit difficult to see. Let me try and draw. I think it's over here. This is the answer for part B. Question 12. In the figure, PQRU is a rhombus. PRST is a parallelogram. PPR is 57. RUP is 32. Okay, we need to find SRQ. SRQ is over here. Okay, since PQRU is a rhombus. I can find this angle here. 180 minus 32, 148. Okay, and these two are the same because it's a rhombus. So I'm gonna divide it by 2. Hmm. 74. This is a 74. This is a 74. Okay, now ERST is a parallelogram, which means that these two are parallel. So I can find this angle here by using 180 minus 57 minus 74. Okay, using this interior angle. This is gonna give me 49. This is 49, which means that to get the answer, I need to use 360 minus 148, which is the 74 plus 74. Subtract the 49. Which is 163 degrees. Question 13. Cindy bought a musical box and a watch at a discount. 20% discount was given to the musical box, and the total discount given for both items was $140. She paid a total of $600 and paid $120 more for the watch than the musical box. Part A, how much did she pay for the musical box? Let us draw a model first. I'm gonna cut into 5 parts. This would be the musical box. Okay, there's a 20% discount, which means that this is the 20% discount. She paid a total of $600 and $120 more for the watch, which means that the watch would be something like this. $120 more. Altogether, she paid $600. Okay, remember this 20% discount over here is not included. So to find the answer for part A, we need to use $600 minus away $120, which is gonna give me 480, and 480 divided by 2, which is $240. Okay, so that is what she paid for the musical box. For part B, what is the percentage discount given for the watch? Okay, we know that $240 is 4 units. So we're gonna do 4 units is equals to 240, which means that 1 unit will be equal to 60. This would be $60. Which means that the price of the watch is equals to 240 plus 120, which is 360. This is after discount. Okay, and then remember, since the discount on the musical box is $60, that means the discount on the watch will be equals to 140 minus 60, which is $80. This is the discount of the watch. To find the percentage discount, we need to use the discount divided by the original price, which is 360 plus 80, and then we're gonna multiply it by 100. This is gonna give me 18.18%, and if I round it off to 1 dp, it's gonna be 18.2%. Question 14. Alan was given a total of 208 game cards. He wanted more cards, so he bought the same number of cards each day for the next 10 days. At the end of the 5th day, he had bought 7/23 of the total number of cards. How many game cards did he collect in 5 days? Let's draw model. Alan was given 208. He wanted more, so he bought the same number of cards each day for the next 10 days. I'm not gonna cut that into 10 units. I'm just gonna write 10 days here. At the end of the 5th day, draw another block below. A line here, a line here. This is 5 days. Okay, he had bought 5/23 of the total, which means that this is 5 unit, and this would be 23 unit. Okay, since this is 5 days, this would be also 5 days, which is 5 units, which means that the 208 would be 13 units. How many game cards did he collect in 5 days? Now I know that 13 unit equals to 208. I just need to find what is 5 unit. 08 over 13 multiply by 5. 80 game cards. Question 15. The number of blue pens that Mrs. Lee had was 6/5 of the number of red pens. Her son took 52 red pens and 24 blue pens from her. After that, the number of red pens became 1/6 of the number of blue pens. How many blue pens did Mrs. Lee have in the end? Let us write down the ratio of the number of red pen is to... Sorry, it should be blue is to red. Number of blue pens that Mrs. Lee had was 6, so this would be 6:5. Okay, her son took 52 red, so I will minus 52 and 24 blue. Okay. In the end, the number of red pen became 1/6 of the number of blue pen, which means that red will be 1, blue will be 6. Okay, so in this case, you need to understand that if you're gonna let the number of blue pen and red pen at the beginning be 6 units and 5 units. Okay, for the blue, if you were to use 6 units minus 24, and if you compare it with the red, which is 5 units minus 52, they will be in the ratio of 6:1, which means that this is 6 parts and this is 1 part. Okay, here and here. So which means that to make them the same, I'm going to multiply by 6 to this, right, to make them equal. So 6 unit minus 24 now will be equal to 30 unit minus 312. The next step would be 30 unit minus 6 unit will be equal to 312 minus 24. This part over here, I'll try to explain it using a model. If you don't understand over here, not using the shape. Okay, 6 unit minus 24. And draw a model here. Let me draw it smaller. I'm gonna draw 6 unit first, and I'm gonna draw another 30 unit. Okay, this is 6 unit. This is 30 unit. If I subtract it by 24, I do not know how big or small is 24. I'm just gonna draw it over here. If I subtract the 30 unit with 312, okay, they will be the same. So this is 24. This is 312. Okay, so if you compare this part here, right, this red part here would be 30 unit minus 6 unit. Is this? Okay, which is also the same as 312 minus 24 over here. Now 24 units is equal to 288, which means that 1 unit is equal to 12. The question is asking for how many blue pens did Mrs. Lee have in the end. Blue pen, so we're gonna find what is 6 unit. And we are going to use a 72 minus 24. 48 is the answer. Okay, for this type of question, you can always do a check to see if you got your answer correct. Okay, blue is to red. We know that the 6 unit is 72. So 5 units is 60. You minus 24 minus 52. Gonna get 48 is to 8, where 48 is to 8, the simplest form is 6 to 1, so means that it is correct. Okay, your answer. Question 16. In the figure below, rectangle ABCD overlaps the circle with AB passing through the center of the circle. So AB will pass through the center of the circle. DC is touching the point S over here on the circumference of the circle, and the area of the shaded part is 1/3 of the area of the rectangle. Find the length of CD. Okay, the first thing that you got to realize is if AD is equals to 7, it also means that the radius of the circle is 7 cm. We're gonna find the area of the shaded circle first. That would be half times I times R square. Gonna give me 77. Okay, and then remember this 77 is 1/3 of the area of the rectangle, right? So I'm going to use 77 times 3. Gonna give me 231. This is the area of the rectangle, which means that if I want to find CD, I just use the area divided by the breadth, which is equal to 33 cm. This is the answer for part A. Part B, I need to find the parameter of the figure. I need to find the circumference of this semicircle first. Okay, that would be half times 2 times pi times r. Okay, cancel, which is gonna give me a 22. Next, I'm going to find the green part here. The green part here is basically 33 minus away the diameter, which is 14. Now I just add the rest, which is these 3 parts. Okay, so it will be 2 plus 19, 33 plus another 14. (88 cm). This is the answer for part B. Question 17. Sticks of the same length are used to form figures that follow a pattern. The first 5 figures are shown below. The table below shows the number of sticks used for each figure and the number of squares formed in each figure. So for the number of sticks, it will be 4, 10, 13, 19, 22. Number of squares will be 1, 3, 4, 6, 7. Complete the table for figure 6. So let's take a look at this. It's a 6. 3, 6, 3, which means that this should be a 6 and it's gonna be a 28. This is a 2, 1, 2, 1, which means that this should be a 2. It's gonna be a 9. Part A is done. Part B, how many squares are there in figure 50? Okay, let us take a look at the pattern for the number of squares. If you look at the jump from here to here, right, it's always a 3. Okay, and if you remember this is our AP pattern, which means that from figure 1 to 9, there's how many of these jumps? 5 of them, right? 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Yep. Okay, from figure 11 to 19 is another 5. Figure 21 to 29 is another 5. Figure 41 to 49 is another 5. Okay, we're gonna call these the groups. Okay, if you remember, the first thing that we do is we always subtract it by the first number, right? So if we subtract everything by 1, this will be a 0. This will be a 3. This will be a 6, which follows your 3 timetable. Okay, this is number 1, number 2, and number 3. So if I want to find pattern group number 3, I need to use 3 minus 1, 2, 2 times 3, which will give me a 6. Let us find 49 first. So for figure 49, there are 25 groups. So first I need to use 25 minus 1, 24, 24 times 3. $72. Okay, if I want to find figure number 50, that will be jumping from an odd number to an even number, which means that I need to plus 2, right? Okay, remember at the very beginning I subtracted 1 from it, so which means that I need to add back the 1 to give me a 75. This is the answer for part B. Let's go into part C. How many sticks are used in figure 101? Okay, so from figure let's see. Let me try and do it this way. From figure 1 to figure 99. Okay, how many groups are there? There will be 50 groups, right? So let's take a look at this. The pattern is in such a way that if I subtract by 4, subtract by 4, it'll be 9, and subtract by 4, it'll be 18. So the number of sticks is following the 9 timetable. And this would be like group 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so same thing. I need to use 3 minus 1 to get a 2, 2 times 9 to get the 18. In fact, I can straight away jump into figure 101. There will be 51 groups. Okay, so first I need to minus 1, give me 50 groups. Next, 50 times 9, give me a 450. And then I'm gonna add back the 4, which will give me a 454. This would be the answer for part C.